Yeah. Welcome to Physics First Quarter Test Review, Chapter 3. All right, number 1, if you'll find your sheet that has all the test review problems, the graphical addition and subtraction, and I say C board, well, this is what you need to look at. So go ahead and take a second and draw this out, and then we're going to do 3 different operations on these two vectors. So you got vector A in red up in the first quadrant and vector B in blue in the second quadrant. So this is number 1 for chapter 3. On A, I want to do A plus B. So to do A plus B, let's go ahead and draw another coordinate. Remember, you just leave the first one alone. So we're going to leave A alone. We're going to take B, which is going down here in quadrant 3, probably, about 240 degrees or so. Slide the tail to the tip of the arrowhead. All right, take B and slide it up. So A, we're not going to mess with. We're going to try to draw it exactly the same as it is. I drew it a little long there, but that's okay. Then B, slide it up, but still at the same angle. All right, something like that. And then vector C, the resultant vector, we're going to do with the dashed line. Pretty close to 0 degrees there. All right, that is A plus B. Okay, part B of this, I want to do B minus A. All right. So B comes first, so that's what I'm going to draw first. I'm not going to mess with B. Just draw it down just like that. So A minus A, we're going to make A negative. Well, making A negative, we take it and point it the opposite direction. Okay, so 180 degrees. And then I'm going to slide the tail of A to the head of B. Okay, so 180 degrees, and then something like this. And you end up with vector C kind of splitting the third quadrant there. So again, we're going to take A, send it 180 degrees the opposite direction, and then slide it down to where the tail is on the head of B. And then connect the two with vector C, our resultant. All right, and then operation C, I want to do A minus B. So A, since A is first in this operation, I'm just going to redraw it exactly like it is in the original. All right, there's vector A. So vector B, if I'm subtracting it, then we're going to take it and flip it 180 degrees and make it negative, and then add it to A by sliding it up here. So make it negative, and then slide it up here like this. All right, so resultant C going to be here in the first quadrant. So that's actually what I would call negative B, if we want to be precise there, and this would be negative A. So B minus A is the same as B plus negative A. A minus B is A plus negative B. So we're just taking negative B and adding it to A. All right, so I would expect you to have to do a little bit of graphical addition and subtraction on the first quarter test. Now let's get into the math. All right, and if you can't, I know this writing is pretty small, but you should have your printout with you following along. So we're going to do number 2 and number 3, and that'll be it for this video. So number 2 says, a man in a kayak crosses a river at an angle of 41 degrees and a speed of 6 meters a second. If the current flows at 3 meters a second and 101 degrees, what's the kayak's true velocity? All right. No problem. So let's write our two vectors out. So we've got 6 meters per second. So let's call that vector A. 6 meters per second at 41 degrees. And vector B, the current is 3 meters per second at 101 degrees. Now I'm going to go ahead and graph this. So 6 at 41, let's say that's something like that. And then 3 is going to be half of 6 at 101. 101 is a little past straight up. So if that's vector A, that's vector B, I would expect vector C to be something in the 70 to 80 degree range, somewhere in there. I might be wrong about that, but definitely I would expect it to be in quadrant 1. So let's see if that works out. So A sub x, 6 cosine 41. Remember, cosine goes with x. B sub x, 3 times the cosine of 101 degrees. And A sub y, 6 sine 41, just replace cosine with sine. B sub y, 3 sine 101. Okay, those numbers are 4.53, negative 0.57. So add those two together, you get 3.96. And then 3.94. And 2.94. Just put the unit at the bottom. Add those together, you get 6.88. All right, so they're both positive. So my prediction that it'd be in quadrant 1 is correct. Use the Pythagorean theorem. We got 3.96 squared plus 6.88 squared. Take the square root of that, and you get 7.94 meters per second. That makes sense. It is longer than vector A. It looks like that. And then our angle, inverse tangent, y over x. So 6.88 over 3.96. I don't have to adjust it. And that is 60.1 degrees. So I probably, since I thought it'd be in the 70-something range, that's okay. You know, I probably drew B a little bit too long here. But pretty confident in that answer. All right, that's number 2. Let's do one more of these. Number 3 says a Hottentot hikes across a barren land as follows. 4,700 cubits at 125 degrees and then 6,700 cubits at 80 degrees. What is his final displacement? All right. So we've got vector A, 4,700 cubits. All right, biblical integration there. At 125 degrees. vector B, 6,700 cubits. At 80 degrees. Let's draw this out and make a prediction of where we should land. 4,700 cubits at 125, so that's somewhere over here. And then 6,700 at 80. Ugh. I tell you, 80 is almost straight up. And I'm running out of space there. I know it should be much longer, but I would expect this thing to be a really long resultant vector and land in quadrant 2. Almost straight up, you know, probably in a little above 90 degrees. Okay, so a sub x, 4,700 cosine 125, b sub x, 6,700 cosine 80. All right, those numbers are negative 2696 and 1163. That's negative 1,533. And then b sub y is 6,700 sine 80. So we got 3,850, 6,598. All right, and that's 10,448 cubits. All right, x is negative, y is positive. That is indeed in quadrant 2. So C, we'd have negative 1533 squared plus 10,448. So wow, the y is much longer than the x squared. That's 10,560 cubits. And then our angle theta, inverse tangent of y over x. So 10,448 over negative 1533. That's negative 81.7 degrees. We're in quadrant 2, so what do we have to do? Add 180. So that's going to be 98.3 degrees. Okay, don't forget in chapter 3, don't forget the whole do nothing, add 180, add 180, and add 360 business. All right, that's it for chapter 3. I'm sure you'll ace that on the test, and I'll talk to you when we review chapter 4.